Ready to start? Okay. Let us begin with Mr. Mark Entrekin, Life Coach.
Thank you, everyone. It is a pleasure and an honor to be here. I know some of you, some of the Toastmasters, some of the speaking, some of Joseph. I am here asking for your help. A lot of you are professionals, a lot of you are speakers. I am looking for feedback, as Jan said, about what I'm bringing forward, about my company, about what I'm doing, what I want to continue to do. And the way we do that as a coach is to consistently produce. How can I coach others if I am not improving myself? I am Mark Entrekin, a dedicated life coach with decades of experience, valuable experience, that can help you achieve success professionally and personally. My success supports business solutions and personal relationship solutions that can truly help you with a lifeline for a lifetime. How do I do it? I'm glad you asked. And I hope you all have a chance to pick up on my business cards, and I do have them here. But it talks about you can keep your problem or you can create a solution. Let me help you with that solution. Let those lingering problems or symptoms go. Let me help you with the solutions that you in your life deserve. Reality-focused dynamics. Creating solutions, one reality at a time. That's what I want to bring you. That's what I want to help you personally, through your company, and through your life, achieve the next step, truly with successes that I think you know you deserve, and I know you can achieve because of your desires, your goals, and your ability. So I talk about a coach. How many here knows what a coach is? What a coach can be? Great, thank you. Because sometimes I will consider myself as what? Possibly a PI. PI, what's a PI? A lot of people, it's a private investigator. Well, one reason that is because our conversations are very much between us. They go nowhere else. But another way that I look at that is also through a PI, a priority identifier. How many of us on a daily basis, even before we came here today, did we truly stop and look at what we're going to accomplish? Why are we here? What are we going to do? At the end of the speeches today, what have we accomplished? What did we want to accomplish? Maybe a bigger word, and I know we all talk about speaking, and when we speak we want small words. I know we have a lot of examples. Our former president, Abraham Lincoln, was one of his greatest quotes. Okay, it's great to me. If you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, what am I going to do? I'm going to spend the first 4 hours sharpening my axe. How many of us do that? With a coach, my support, that's what I hope I can help you do. Let's sharpen that axe. Let's create the tools within ourselves to truly build upon the needs that we have to help others. How about former President JFK, John Chief? Hope we all know this speech. My fellow Americans, ask not what your country can do for you. Think, what can you do for your country? Is there anyone here employed? Do we earn an income of any kind? Could that be another form of our country? But what do we need to do first? Think about ourselves. What are we doing? And that's where the coach comes in. To think about what we're going to do for our country, for those around us, we have to build. Short words, small words, meaningful words. Words that we can take with us. Not just what we pick up in this room, but when we walk out that door. Short, meaningful words that we know the definition. And last, but far from least, duty is to protect the people, not to run their lives. Short words, clean words. Is there any question? That's what I want to do as a coach. I don't want to run your life, but I want to support you. Build those critical tools that help each of us, as it helps myself grow on my daily basis. Help me achieve. Again, small words that help us build. As I talked about, the PI, the private investigator, the priority identifier, or maybe some bigger words. Prioritization identification. What did I ask you in school? Why are you here? Why am I here? My priority today is these identified as to improve my work, my abilities, my communication to you. Yes, I know. Prioritization identification. Big words. I want to bring those down to a point. We can all understand them. We can all take them forward. How do we reach prioritization? How do we grow to that next step? What I do is I find out first, what's your 20? What's a 20? Anybody here ever use a CB radio? Remember those days? Breaker 19, what's your 20? What do you want to know? Location. Thank you. Thank you. What's your location? Where are you today? What's the structure that you have in your life, in your company, in your relationship? Where are you today? What is your location? What's your reality? You're starting from some point, you're 20, your location. What are the realities that you're dealing with? So much information, so much to deal with. Priorities, identification, to location, to reality. What are we doing? There's so much. That's where I want to come in. That's where I want to help you find that location, understand that location, and help each of us go to that next level. Why do I think about location? Has anyone in here ever purchased a home? What are the 3 biggest issues in purchasing a home? For resale value, for usefulness? 3 items are what? Location. Location. Thank you. Great job. Thank you so much. So what about our life? Aren't they the same way? Where are we today? Well, we know we're to Savoy. Beautiful view. Nice dog park. What's it doing for our life? What's our priority when we leave here? Well, each of us can grow in many different ways. Oh, I can help you in that growth. There's so many things that we deal with, work with as far as our location. It helps us understand where we need to be. It's easy to say, I have bills to pay. How do I pay those bills? But from my perspective, how many in here think that your ideas on paying bills to achieve your monthly payment process is the same for everyone in this room? I don't think so. So what do? In each of the steps that we make toward taking our lives to that next step, that next level, is based on the location we're in today. Our priorities, our reality. And they are different. One thing that we have to think about is, what do I know I know? I know I have bills to pay, there's no doubt about that. What do I know I don't know? Do I know for sure I've got the income coming in to pay those bills? Do I have the knowledge that I know where the next dollar is going to come from? How much do I not know that I know? A lot of information. All of us. How many here above 18? A couple of us. Good. I That's the basis, and that's our foundation. So as a coach, what do I help do? I help bring those things that we may not know we know into perspective, into those priorities, into our reality. Helping us make that next step forward in that growth. And also, how many things are that we don't know we don't know? A lot of information out there. A lot of people are working on a lot of things where they have no idea about the ideas they have. They truly don't know what they don't know. Why didn't you go to school? Didn't we go to primary school, secondary school? Drove by a school once or twice? It's that foundation that we all build and grow from. How do we build from those knowledge items, those pieces of priority, to move forward? Those are realities that we set in our own culture. So I'll talk about a lot here. Realities, priorities, identifications, growth, platform. How do we bring that all together? As a coach, what I do is help you grow into ideas that you may know what you know, but do you know how to take it to the next step? What are the levels that you're working from right now to build those items into the foundation, into the structure that you know you need to make that happen? So as a coach, I work as your confidant. Well, what does that mean? That's a big word. Confidant. I'm your partner. I'm the person that knows how you feel, how you see your culture, your growth. I'm going to know what you know, but that stays within our office, my office. That stays within us. There's all the things that you can talk about. No one else needs to know, but yet you and I build that information into that platform, that structure, that reality. Let's grow from today forward. How much more could you do tomorrow if you knew today how to apply the things that you know into the solution of that problem? That's what I want to do. I want to help you grow into that level so that you utilize what you know. How many times have you thought, darn, I know the answer to that question. What is it? Gosh, it was 10 seconds ago I thought about it. Okay, maybe it's 10 years ago, but the point's the same. You need to be able to act or react in a positive way. That's what I want to help you do, is to grow into that feeling, that understanding, that confidence level. What you talk with me about, you can take it forward without the fear that sometimes we have today. What else can I do? I've got several items I want to talk about here today. Blind spots. We'll just talk about things that we know, but we forget for the moment. How do we work with those blind spots? How do we become more confident, more comfortable in what we do know? Those blind spots that we come across every day, the people that we talk with, as we help our customers. Sometimes they're in a blind spot. That we have a product or service, just a support system. What are you providing to them? And that's what I want to help you do, is to provide that even within yourself. Everyone, even myself, we have areas where we have a blind spot we need to know about. So what do? We find those blind spots, we uncover them, and we move them forward. What's your 20? Talk about that. If we know our 20, we know our vision. We know what's out here beyond these windows. We see a covered pool out here. Well, we assume that's a pool that's underneath. Can we truly see? No, but I've seen it many times before. I've seen covers like that. That's sometimes a blind spot. What do we want to do with that? We want to bring that information, that knowledge forward, so that when we go out here, we know today at the Savoy, there is a swimming pool there, and there will be, well, we hold warm water. We're going to get into it. How about objective feedback? A lot of times it's comfort levels, those priorities, that reality. When we're talking to someone, when we're supporting someone, when we're helping someone, that ability to have your interest in mind, your goals in mind, building from your reality to grow forward. As a coach, as I listen to the items that are most important to you, where you want your life to go, your company to go, and again, I keep talking about relationships. I was a Colorado coordinator with the Children's Rights Council for over 18 years, working with families going through difficulties in divorce, custody, parenting time, family issues, and financial issues, and child support issues, and maintenance issues. It's all of us try to understand those objectives, those possibilities, those patterns. What do we understand about that situation? Providing feedback. Can I help you take it to that next level? I think so. I've got the experience, I've got the background. Okay, yes, I've been through one of those also. Divorce, custody, parenting time, issues. As president of the Father's Equal Rights, growth, understanding. I was president there for about 7 months. Why was it only 7 months? I resigned from the Father's Equal Rights for one reason only. They thought they were being picked on. They thought they were being ridiculed. I, as a father of 2 children, understood that situation when I came in. I had not only attended 2 meetings before the election, I was elected president. Wow, what an honor. What did I find out? What was their 20? They weren't looking for support in growing together. Too many of the current members were looking for vengeance toward the other party. I didn't want that. I left. That's all of the Children's Rights Council, national organization out of Washington, D.C. So what can I do? Just like that. Help each of us identify the top performance, provide another set of eyes. I work with the judicial system in that case. I work with families, parents, individuals, children. Each and every one of us have an opportunity to grow. Our situations are all based upon what we know, what we do, our understanding of where we are, our location, where we want to go, our priorities. I want to help each of you in the process. And when I say you, your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers. I want to help identify, recognize systems that help you keep them accountable. What are the situations that we have every day? How many times have we repeated the problem? How many know the definition of insanity? Absolutely. How many times you keep rebooting your computer thinking something's going to work? Same thing over and over, expecting a different result. What we want to do is recognize those symptoms. In families, your spouse, your coworkers. What are the symptoms? How do we address them? How do we work toward the next step? How, again, do we grow forward? I want to resonate issues or symptoms as a sounding board, as a coach. You come to me, you have problems. Sometimes you feel you have no one to talk to. As a coach, that's where I want to be. I want to hear about your issues. I want to resonate those back with you. See what the solutions are. What is our next step? What is our growth path? How do we make those issues, those symptoms, possibly only a risk? How do we turn those into solutions? We can keep our problems, or we can create a solution. Please, let me help you reach that solution. Find your location. Find your priority. Watch your reality. Take it to that next step. How can I do that? Possibly another source of creative ideas. How many of us have looked at any kind of problem? Talking to your friend, and they're talking about a problem in their garage or their living room or their kitchen. You say, well, why don't you do this? Somebody says, wow, I never thought of that. Sometimes that discussion with another educated individual can help us each grow in that process. Ability to talk to someone else, help identify those creative issues, pulling them forward. Maintaining a vision. How many of you have a friend or two? 3. How many have a family member? Maybe an in-law? People that say, I'm going to go. And what do they say? No, you can't do that. Why not? Well, I have a friend who has a friend. I think they have a sister who has a brother, has an in-law. They tried that one time and it didn't work. So, what? Do they know you? Do they know your location? Do they know your reality? Do they know what you really, truly want to do? Do they know your passion? Another set of eyes. More creative ideas. Maintaining your vision. That's a 4-letter word. Y-O-U-R. Your vision. But let's turn the Y to our. You and I. Y-O-U-R. Let's make it happen. Take that why, make it ours, and let's take it to the next step. Let's identify and help celebrate your successes. How many times have you won something, achieved something, gone somewhere, and you have no one to tell about it? Nobody, no friend, nobody you can share with, nobody that appreciates. Yes, you have that same in-law that has a friend, somewhere, that says it couldn't happen. You made it happen. You had this success. Let me help you celebrate that success. Please don't let that success fall. You've achieved a goal. You're on your next step to making that next success. Your reality, your location, your growth, your priority. You identified it. You achieved it. Let's take it to the success, to the party, to the enjoyment of what you have done. Let me be there to help you make that happen. Also, life processes. This is where I work mostly on the relationship side. But how many people do you know that have a bad relationship at home that brings that relationship to work? They work with each other. What we do at home, our reality, we take with us. What can we do to take that reality, build it, make it, grow it, and stronger? Reframing what happens in our life, in our business. How can we take all of the things that we may think is wrong today, but to readdress those, actually build what's right from our location, our 20, our reality, to take them to that next step. So again, as a coach, what do I work so hard to achieve, to believe, to grow with you? 1, I want to talk to you about what you need to hear. Not necessarily what just you want to hear. I want to talk about what you need to hear. What you do, what you not do. Let me be honest with you. Let me be a true friend. Let me talk about the things that no one else does. A lot of people say, oh yeah, that's good, yeah, great, all right, bye. No, I want to be there to say, okay, yes, you went here, now you're here. Could you now be another level higher? How do you talk to your peers? How do you talk to your subordinates? How do you grow them? How about your spouse? How about your children? Let me give you that feedback that helps you grow to that next level. It doesn't take a lot of time. We set that up on your schedule. I want to help you, your schedule, your benefits, your goals. Take your time, take your location, take that reality, and make it visible to everyone. Let it grow. Let that diamond shine. Makes you be an executive. You think like an executive. Think like an intelligent person that you are. Helps you break those bad habits. I don't know how many know me from 10 years ago, 20 years ago. I used to talk very, very fast. Okay, I still do. Especially when I'm very comfortable with you and we're out having a glass of wine. There's sometimes when I will slur a good Chardonnay or a good Cabernet right all over the place. But I know, I found out that I could not talk in that rapid tone and everyone can understand or pick up what I'm saying. Every third or fourth word, sure. So let me take what I've learned in my bad habits, and please trust me, it's not the only one. There's a lot of bad habits that we all have. Let me work with you on that one. You say, but wait, doesn't coaching cost money? Well, absolutely. But let me help you work possibly even with your employer. Helping to pay, helping to achieve the goals, help you invest into your tomorrow, give you over 3 times the return on your investment. Let me help you grow the investments that you make with an unlimited percentage of income. Do you deserve better in your career? Whatever your career is, do you deserve better? I think so. Much, much better. You'll be following in the footsteps of some of the greatest, some of the huge star performers. Not just watching them on TV. You have to just be a doctor on television, a lawyer on television, a playwright on television. You can be that person. Create the positivity in your life. Be the positive person that helps others grow, which helps you grow. And last, but definitely not least, your relationships will improve. Again, as we mentioned, how many people take the relationship at home into their situations at work? If you're better at home, how will you be at work? How will you be in the surrounding areas? Better. I want to help you do that. I want to help you grow in the areas you want to grow. And again, who is you? Maybe you. It may be your friends. It may be your coworkers. It may be your family. I'd love to talk with you. I would love to help you grow. Again, we can keep our problems or we can create a solution. Let me help you with that solution. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you. He deserves a second round of applause. First is the hardest spot. Mark, I'm so proud of you. You did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have a lot of feedback. And the first thing I'd like to say is that you have a certain demeanor that I think would serve you well if you consider running for office. I think you have that style of a politician. You have that. It makes me feel like you were frequently listening to political speeches because you have that sort of a style. You go out and ask rhetorical questions. Where are you? Where do you want to be? What church wedding? That's the kind of thing a politician would ask us, and that was good. I'd like to begin with the most important thing that I heard as an umbrella over this presentation, which is you're really talking to a very vague set of people. when you told me who your business is, you said I coach individuals, couples, and families. I coach individuals and teams. The issue that I have with that is when you're looking for who is my client is individuals. Well, there's 7 billion of them on the planet. I don't think they're all your clients. And so if you are going to talk to people about business, for example, a business coach, one business coach may say, I only work with startups. Another may say, I only work with dentists because I know how to run a dentist, I know how to market a dentist, I know how they can make money. And so I would encourage you, as you go forward, to look more carefully for a niche. And if you say families, for example, and you had said, I'm looking for families who are interested in improving themselves. Pretty hard to find. It's kind of hard to find families congregating to improve themselves, if you will. If you said, I work with Christian families who are struggling with divorce, you can find those people. You can go out, you can talk to divorce groups, you can get to churches, do you see the difference? That's very specific. And if you say, I'm looking for these people, you have to find, number one, there have to be enough of them. So if you said, I only work with one-legged blind belly dancers, probably not enough in Denver to keep you sustained and in business. So you want to make sure there are enough people. Now, if you say, I work with couples in trouble, well, there's certainly a lot of them. But it's still, how do you find those people? Where do you go? Where do couples in trouble actually congregate? I don't think they do, per se. And so I'd like you to think about your niche. If you are coaching in business, who specifically are you coaching? You really can't coach the entire world. You don't have the expertise for that. And so that is the first thing. I'd really like you to consider narrowing your niche, because I think that's going to give you more business. There's a common expression in business, many of you hear it at networking events, your niche will make you rich. And the reason for that is, when you find a group of people, they know each other. They'll talk about you in that group. And suddenly, in that small group, everyone will know you. But if it's the 7 billion, almost no one will know you. An example in this room is that many of us here are Toastmasters. We know each other from Toastmasters, and we know kind of what to expect from that. I could say, if I wanted to, I coach Toastmasters. And that could be my niche. Rich has done that. Rich has been very successful in coaching contestants in Toastmasters contests. I don't know that that's the only people Rich coaches, but people, when they're looking for a contest coach, that's what they're looking for. They're looking for somebody in Toastmasters. And that's an example of a good niche. We're in Toastmasters. We know people in Toastmasters. It's easy for us to find our clients. It's easy to find people who are looking to get into contests. And so do you see what I'm saying? You want to find a group of people that you can actually, they congregate somewhere, and you can locate them. You can create a mailing list with them. So that's the overarching big point I'd like to make.
Thank you.
The next thing I'd like to say is that you said a lot. That you said you're looking for clients that are intelligent individuals, teams who are not earning their prime income or not coming out in too many of their business decisions in your form that you gave me. And I didn't hear you talk about that at all in your presentation. I didn't hear you say, if your business is struggling, if you're not meeting your income goals, then I'm the coach for you. I didn't hear that at all. And I think the overall, you have a really good persona, you have a very engaging voice, you're not boring, let me say, you're not boring to listen to. But your presentation left us nothing to bite into. And by that, Mark, I mean you gave us a lot of buzzwords. Prioritization, identification, you gave us the word growth, you gave us reaching your goals, but you didn't ever once say, when you say what's the next step, what I am hungry for is a story. What is the next step? When I hear next step, my mind just goes into the ether. It's just very, very vague to me. What's the next step? I don't know. And a lot of times people say, you're going to break out and get to the next level. I don't don't know what that means. It's just a buzzword for me. And you have a lot of what I would call buzzwords, business buzzwords throughout your speech, and that's good for a business audience. Not as good if you're looking for relationship counseling or individuals, as you said. So when you're talking like that, when you go ahead and you tell me, you especially two vague words, problem and solution, and that's on the back of your business card. Let's find a solution. That's a vague word too, and problem is a vague word. And so what I would encourage you to do, Mark, is put some stories in. And one of the things that I felt as I was listening to you is that you were very educated, very, very smart, very, very savvy in business. I could tell. I could tell that you're a sophisticated person. But what I didn't hear you tell me was even once, I sat across the desk from Mary, and she told me that her business was going bankrupt. And I said, Mary, that's your twin. Let's get you where you want to be. I was really hungry. And the only concrete example in the entire speech that you gave us that wasn't a vague narrative was when you talked about the pool cover. That was really, and I know that was an ad hoc thing because you didn't know that pool cover until you came in the room. So you didn't have a concrete example until you saw that, and that's the kind of thing I want you to do. I want you to think of examples of what is somebody's exact problem? What is the solution that you proposed for them? Because if we in the room are listening, I might hear something. Like if I'm struggling with a certain aspect of my marketing, and you tell a story about how you told someone and helped someone with that exact thing I was struggling with, I'm suddenly very, very interested, and I can connect now. And I think, Mark, the biggest thing that I had an issue with in this was that you did not connect with us through personal stories and personal examples. Then, there is one personal example you did use that I would like to see you take out, and that was the Fathers for Equal Rights story. Because in that story, you came across as being right, and they were wrong. And you don't ever want to come across as righteous or criticizing anyone. And so you might just say something like it wasn't a good fit if you're going to tell that story. But personally, I felt that story was completely irrelevant to everything else you said. It was sort of like a sore thumb sticking out. You smiled a couple times and got very animated. You had a couple of good jokes, and I really encourage you to keep with asking people when you use questions, and that's a good style that you have. It's engaging. You don't just go second. You did say, and question. You like that, and that's engaging. So you have that going on for you. That's very good. What we really want is more smiling, more energy, and the thing is you come across as very authoritative, very credible, and that's all very good, but I think we want a little bit more friendliness. When you say to me, I'm your confidant, I'm going, I don't know, is he, you know what I mean? You haven't warmed me up to you yet, and then you tell me that, and then I want to also say, one of the biggest phrases that you used a lot throughout your speech is, let me help you, let me help you. And I sometimes am not sure I need help. It's kind of hurtful to me when someone like Meredith says, "Honey, you need some help." And do I really? And so, if you're presuming people need your help, and it's let me help you, it gives you the position of being above them. And I don't think that's where you want to be as a coach, because you tell us, I'm your partner, I'm your confidant. But I can help you. I would say something about working together. We can work together to get you where you'd like to be. And then, again, what do you mean by where would you like to be? Give us some examples. Give us someone who maybe say, I had a client who wanted to be a pilot and was terrified and would drive out to the airport and sit there and look at the planes. Wouldn't you take a lesson? And we talked, and I realized that is her dream. She wants to pilot a plane. And we talked, and we worked together, and now, where is she? Soaring in the skies. And so you told me, but I have no real feeling that you gave me a business card, said you're a coach, but you never gave me an example of a client. So I'm not sure if you're just one of these people that just printed up some business cards and said you're a coach. We meet them all the time at networking events, don't we? And so I really want to hear, you gave us some credentials, but they weren't relevant to your coaching. Where have you studied? Who have you studied with? Who taught you how to be a coach? Are you in the Denver Coaches Federation? Where did you get this information? And you may not have any formal certificate. It may all be from your experience. But let's go ahead and make sure that we know about that. Because why would I want to listen to you? And I think there, Mark, you give me a personal story. If you have a divorce, you mentioned you had a divorce, give me a little snippet. Tell me about that, how painful that was, that makes me understand that you really understand my problem. You really know how to help me because you've been through it. A lot of times people will say, I've been through it, but they seem to already be over it and through it and past it, and I can't relate to their experience because they're not where I am. So I want you to think about where the people are in the audience as they're listening to you. And when you say I can help you, help me with what? You pretty much said we can identify where you are and we can take you where you want to go. But that's very vague, and I don't think anybody will buy that, will sign up with you for that kind of vague thing. And where I sometimes hear that, and it works a little bit better, is in corporate things. Because more corporate people are used to those buzzwords and they're used to buying that. Okay? Let's talk a little bit about, you wanted to, I'd like to mention the money. Because you mentioned, toward the end, you suddenly said, now coaching costs money. And then you backed away. Don't you deserve better? And I'm thinking, what about the money? It costs money. And then you said, maybe you can get your boss to pay for your investment. But you didn't say, well, what is the investment? So it was like you started into your close, what I call the action close, and then you backed away from it. And so I think that one needs a little bit more work. Are you going to talk about the money, or are you not going to talk about the money in your presentation? If you're doing a 30-minute presentation to service clubs or things like that, or associations, I don't think I would talk about the money. You might have a flyer or a handout, or you might direct them to your website, but the way that you're doing it right now is not effective. It's not going to bring you the money. And then after you talked about that, then you said, again, you went into relationships. Your relationships will improve. And you haven't talked about that very much. You sprinkled it throughout, but it was like a strange ending. And then you came into, which is your solid close, I would say, which sounds really good. You have very, very good projection on that. It's compelling the way you say it at the end. But I think that I definitely would like to see more specificity. And I think when you bring in the personal stories, it's going to be where the warmth is. And that warmth is what's going to captivate us and want us to consider working with you as a life coach. I would also consider adding a couple more humor lines. And I know this is a tough crowd because most of them are Toastmasters. How judgmental we are. But I would just add a little bit more levity to it. You have a great smile, and when you laugh and when you got going, did you feel yourself that at the beginning you were cool and then you warmed up? You felt yourself warming up as you went through it? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we want. We want the warm Mark that we saw toward the end, who's a little bit more animated, and that's when you're in your comfort zone. And I recognize that the first person that goes, it's a little bit disconcerting to be first. But I thought you did a solid job with your presentation. I did think that it could be tightened up more. You had those quotes from the presidents, 3 presidents, Abraham Lincoln, JFK, and Ronald Reagan. I felt like that was really crafty. That actually could be the 3 points of your entire 30 minutes. And I would love to see you craft it that way. Go into sharpening your axe. Go into doing it for your country. And I I forgot the last one from Reagan. I'm sorry, but you could actually take it on a 30-minute. You could take 10 minutes on sharpening your axe, 10 minutes on doing it for your country and your family and the world and all that, being everything you can be. And you could chunk those into 10 minutes each, approximately, with a little intro and an outro at the end. And I think that would be even more effective than this presentation is. Okay, now is that feedback valuable for you?
I think it's very valuable feedback, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's give them another round. Before we go on to our next presenter, Rich, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Yeah, real quickly. Mark, I see you as a speaker, as a Rolls Royce that simply drives around its own lot. You're beautiful. You have all these wonderful shiny things about you as a speaker, as a presenter, and you present us with a lot of features as you speak. But as Joan was saying, without the stories, you never imply that you've ever been out on the road. You've experienced the country and the mountains and the Autobahn, that you know where we are. And that's where the importance of story is it brings in the emotion and the experience. And especially when you can start your speech with a story, you get us more involved, more invested from the very beginning. And that's going to be important for you because the other aspect of the speech I want to tell you about, or comment on, is that I felt the entire time you were telling me what you wanted to do. This is what I want to do. I want to be your coach. I want to help you. I want to be this guy. Instead of making me feel like I need you. What is my pain? I don't care what you want. I don't care what you want to do for me. I want to feel like I need somebody to do something for me and then know you're the guy that's going to get me through it. And that's what the power of story is going to get me from where I am now to where you need me to be to hire you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I think, Mark, if you make the kind of changes that we're suggesting, you're going to see a lot higher revenue than what you're probably seeing now as you're going out. I mean, I don't know that you're getting clients when you give that particular speech, or I don't know how many times you give it, but let's definitely make it more warm. Let's make the changes before you get out and do that again. Because we want you to attract people. We want you to attract clients. So our next presenter has gone down the hall for a second.
Stand up, exercise real quick.
Yeah, let's just take a quick break.